What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Leg Game episode 172, also known as the Washington Commanders are in the NFC Championship celebration episode.
Is he wearing a bib? Yeah, looks like a bib.
Whatever. I am Marcus, your co-host.
All I do is win, no matter what.
It's upside down.
And it's upside down.
Everybody hands up. And they stay there. And they stay there.
I'm about to take away your privileges, Herman. Take away your privileges.
Hey, look, at least if you're going to brag, at least get it right.
Herman and Brian, this is what happens when you don't get there, okay?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh, I know we're not talking about not getting it. The people, the fans of the team who's not in the NFC Championship or AFC Championship, say what? Say what?
Can we
Say
carry
what?
on with the show, please?
Next up, we got Mr. Sourpuss, Salty Dude Herman. Say what, Herman.
Oh, it would be a night of hateration flowing. I promise you. I promise.
Next up, hold on. I got to switch this back around. Oh, we back. There. Next up is Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us, and I apologize for Marcus in advance.
Don't apologize.
I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You.
And last but not least, another dude whose team is not in the conference championship this weekend. Say, Mark. Say what up, Mark.
I also have to apologize for Marcus' behavior tonight. But how y'all doing?
And me, I'm 56 years old.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
And we got our first time guest on the show, a guy whose team is in the conference championship this Sunday. His name is Sean. Say what up, Sean.
What's
Welcome,
going on,
Sean.
fellas? How y'all doing?
Welcome.
We're good. We're
Welcome
good.
to
Thanks
the
for
show.
joining us, Sean.
Before we get started, I'm going to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Leg Game, on Twitter/X at The Leg Game 3, on Instagram at The Official Leg Game, and you can catch us broadcasting simultaneously on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. Go on over there and check them out. They do football, boxing, MMA, wrestling. They do it all over there. So go on over there and check out the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. I believe Mark is hosting. So go ahead and start us off, Mark.
Thank you, Marcus. The overall view of the show tonight, we're going to talk about NFL news, get into a couple of hot topics. We review our picks for last week's playoff games, pick out picks for the upcoming playoff games, and then we'll end up the show with our final thoughts. With the news being starting out, I give it back to you, Marcus. What's our first news story?
Baltimore Ravens tight end Mark Andrews received a host of negative attention after flubbing a potential game-tying two-point conversion in Sunday night's loss to the Buffalo Bills. In face of the online rage, Bills Mafia is again showing some support. Bills fan Nicholas Howard kicked off a GoFundMe to back Breakthrough T1D, a global type 1 diabetes research organization that Andrews has supported. Andrews was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes as a child. As many of you know, Ravens tight end wasn't able to catch the game-tying two-point conversion and upset Ravens fans, Howard wrote. On top of that, the tight end has been receiving death threats and nasty comments after his performance last night. We want Bills Mafia to donate to Mark's charity for type 1 diabetes. As of Wednesday morning, the funds raised more than $50,000 for the charity. The Ravens thank the Bills fans for supporting Andrews. That's pretty decent.
That's good. That's awesome.
It's a shame
I bet
your home team do like that.
I bet the Eagles fans never do that.
Hell no.
Them haters, they just want to chastise Green Bay women from Green Bay in the stands to get fired the next day. So that's what they do.
All right, Herman, can you give us the next news story, please?
All right. Texans coach DeMarco Ryans said Monday that cornerback Chris Boyd didn't push special teams coach Frank Ross in a, quote, disrespectful manner after he nearly shoved him to the ground following the opening kickoff of the team's divisional playoff loss to the Chiefs this past weekend. I don't think he was pushing Frank in a disrespectful manner, Ryan said. I think it was more so fired up, overly fired up, and thought he made a play to help us. So that narrative that he's pushing a coach, that's incorrect. The Texans kicked off, and Chiefs returner Nico Remigio had broken through their coverage, hitting the open field and racing towards the end zone. Boyd caught him and stripped the ball, ran towards Houston's sideline, celebrating the fumble by ripping off his helmet and sending it skittering toward the bench. Unfortunately for Boyd and the Texans, the Chiefs recovered the fumble. It was a fact Boyd only realized as he neared the sideline after his helmet was off and the penalty flag had been thrown. I call BS. I watched the video.
I don't think he did. I think he was explaining to the coach what happened.
No, that coach.
That's how you explain to coach.
That wasn't no. I'm fired
He
up
was showing
because the coach wasn't fired up.
him.
The coach was scared.
I don't think he knew that Kansas City had gotten the ball back. I thought he was. I thought he thought that
I
he
didn't
had.
think he. I'm thinking the same thing, Mark. There, I don't think he knew.
Yeah. So
It looked way too aggressive
that
to me.
now.
I've seen coaches and players celebrate. That coach was not celebrating with him.
Either he was celebrating and he thought, and coach wasn't because he didn't know.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. But it didn't look right. I don't care what. That's the second time Ryans has had to come out and say something like when he backed the homeboy that took out Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, he kind of had no choice. I mean, they kept showing the thing over and over on the broadcast.
Yeah,
they made it bigger than what I think it really was.
Him speaking on it didn't help it though. It just brings it back up. So,
well, he got to defend his players as a coach. He talking about free agency.
If he's a cornerback on the kickoff team, he's probably not that important to the team anyway.
He was a
cornerback.
He's a corner on special teams. Yeah.
Well, he played wide receiver, but he was playing corner on special teams.
Oh, so he's a wide receiver on special teams. Yeah, he really is not that important then, probably.
All right, Brian, give us the next news story, please. Oh, Hater Herman over there.
Hater Herman.
The Minnesota Vikings and coach Kevin O'Connell agreed Tuesday on a multi-year contract extension, closing an unusual chapter and locking down one of the NFL's top young head coaches. Terms were not immediately available. ESPN's Adam Schefter also reported that the Vikings are working on an extension for general manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. Like O'Connell, Adolfo-Mensah signed a 4-year contract when the Vikings hired him in 2022 and thus has 1 year remaining on the deal. O'Connell was displeased after the 2023 season when owners Ziggy and Mark Wolf opted against extending his contract. ESPN has reported at the time when the franchise planned to start over at a quarterback position. Multiple teams were positioning themselves this month to make trade offers if sides were not able to agree on an extension, as Fox first reported. ESPN later confirmed, given possibility that O'Connell could always choose to simply work through the expiration of his deal and become a coaching free agent in 2025. But O'Connell said twice this month that he wanted to remain with the Vikings, and after a meeting with the Wolves last week, he added, "I love our ownership." O'Connell won 13 games with Kirk Cousins in 2022, 14 games with Sam Darnold in 2024. The Vikings will entrust him to develop J.J. McCarthy, the number 10 pick of last year's draft, as a long-term starter.
They would have him if he gets a real quarterback. 13 with Kirk Cousins, 14 with Sam Darnold.
He might have one. That's a good deal, though. That's how front office is supposed to operate. Yeah. You don't let your coach GM. You don't let your coach go.
They got a nice core together. You actually want to keep that core in place as much as possible. So, all right. So, last news story I got: Josh McDaniels is officially back with the Patriots.
Herman's boy.
What's that?
Herman's boy.
Well, he's a great OC, this turbo head coach.
Is he really? Go ahead and let Mark read his story, please.
The Patriots announced that McDaniels has been hired as the offensive coordinator on the new head coach Mike Vrabel's staff on Wednesday. It is the third time McDaniel has served in the role, as he had 2 stints working with Bill Belichick and was part of the 6 Super Bowl winners in New England. Vrabel was part of 3 of those teams, and 2 men will be working together to try to restore the Patriots to that kind of success. The Patriots also confirmed that Terrell Williams will be the defensive coordinator and that Jeremy Sprinter will head up the special teams staff. Williams worked under Verbal in Tennessee and spent 2024 season on the Lions staff, while Sprinter is a handover with Jared May staff in New England. So he actually gonna stay from New England staff. But this is another retread offensive coordinator.
It's the good old boy system. It's the good old boy system.
I mean, but you act like he hasn't been there. I mean,
what has he done without Brady?
Yeah,
that's what has anybody done without Brady? What is anybody
exactly?
You don't need a quarterback.
Exactly. So why does he keep getting chances?
He's the OC. He's not a head coach.
He's trash.
He was a head coach of the Raiders, and he was trash.
Because some people make good coaches.
You don't have a
What were you saying, Mark?
I guess I don't really like it, man, because you really never gave Jared May a really serious shot. You really didn't even want him.
Well, that's neither here nor there in this conversation.
But that just goes to show you. I thought that Kraft was a better owner than this. I mean, the Vrabel hire. I don't have a problem with Vrabel hire. I don't have a problem with the Vrabel hire at all. But bringing back
Vrabel is bringing McDaniels back.
Man,
that's a Vrabel decision.
Not even
they should have brought McDaniels back
it's the New England way. It's the New England way.
But Vrabel that's Vrabel's choice.
They should have brought him back with Mayo.
I don't know how y'all think that's a bad choice. The man has 6 rings as an offensive coordinator.
He's been a
Brady. With the greatest
Brady.
quarterback in history.
He had Brady.
Everybody can say that. Everybody can say that.
Yeah.
What has he done without Brady?
What has Bill Belichick done without Brady?
Nothing.
What has anybody done without Brady?
Without him either.
He won 2 Super Bowls with Parcells.
What has the Buccaneers done without Brady?
Okay, yeah, you're right about that.
He won 2 Super Bowls with Parcells. You forgot about that.
He was a coordinator.
And he won with the Jacks.
He was a coordinator.
And don't you know that Vrabel in his interview most likely told Kraft, "I'm bringing in McDaniels for my OC."
I'm sure
during the interview. I'm sure he did. Yeah. So it's the good old boy system. It's a bunch of bull.
All right, so is
it though? The dude's been there so many years.
They still gonna lose.
It is because ever since Brady left, he's done nothing to elevate the quarterbacks that they've had.
He wasn't there.
He's trash.
I don't know. What's his name?
James wasn't there.
He got Castle paid. Castle didn't take him to the playoffs, but had
he got all the backups paid. Every backup that went to
he got Garoppolo paid.
Yeah, got Garoppolo paid.
Garoppolo.
Okay.
And what's the dude that played for us? He didn't get paid, but
so
y'all think he's going to turn around? What's his name? He's going to be good for who's the quarterback?
Yeah, I think he's going to be good for him. Yeah,
Drake May.
Drake May. Yeah,
I bet he takes a step back. I don't think he's going to be good for him at all.
Well, he hasn't
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Step forward yet.
I don't believe so. He'll be even worse.
Well,
he's
going to need weapons. He's not that quarterback.
Exactly.
He's going to need the offensive line and weapons and a running game.
And McDaniels don't know nothing about having to coach that because he's always been coaching Brady, who can make up for where they're at.
You act like Brady was Brady the whole time. The first 2 Super Bowls, Brady was nothing.
But Brady wasn't. But he wasn't coaching Brady in those Super Bowls either, because you got to remember Charlie Wise was the captain.
No, right, exactly. It wasn't McDaniel.
It wasn't McDaniel. It was Charlie Wise,
and then Callahan. Callahan won the Super Bowl.
Well, in that news story, didn't it say he won 6 of these Super Bowls?
Yeah, but he was on the staff,
but not
he was there, so he
was an offensive coordinator.
Right,
but he still was part of the staff. So
he's trying.
Yeah.
All right, so that ends our news story,
which was a hot topic.
And thanks for stopping by.
How the news story turned into hot topics.
Hot topics.
We already did them, Mark. We just did them.
We got to go through 4 games. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of games we got to go through.
We ain't got a lot on the back end.
Yeah.
Here's our first hot topic. What are your thoughts on former Lions offensive coordinator taking the Bears head coaching position and the defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, taking the Jets job. Was this a good decision, and will they be successful? Since he is our guest, I'll let our guest start us off with this one. What do you think about the two new coaches hired that went to the Bears and the Jets? How do you think they're going to pan out so far this year or next year?
Ben Johnson. First of all, Ben Johnson. With Ben Johnson, he's going to have to get an offensive line. They got weapons, but they offensive line for him to be successful. And he's got to hire the right defensive coordinator. And Aaron Glenn just he's going to have, for him to be successful, I think which he will be, he got to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. First and foremost, they got to get rid of Aaron Rodgers and restart all over and get him a good offensive coordinator. And I think the defense will be good because they got good players on defense. But Ben Johnson, it all depends on that offensive line.
Herman,
that's my thing.
Yeah, I think that Ben Johnson, out of the jobs that were available, I think he took probably the best one. First round draft pick, QB. They definitely got to get that line fixed, but they have cap space to do that, and they have a GM who is motivated and willing to invest in the team. They got a lot of talent on offense. They have some skill positions already. If they can shore up that O-line, which is not usually that hard to do, I think that he can be successful. He knows the division that he's going to be playing in, so he'll already know his opponents. He'll have familiarity with them. Their defense is pretty decent already. I can't remember if they said who he hired as a D coordinator. I thought they did. I thought they had already announced it. I can't remember. But I think out of the jobs that he interviewed for, that was the best one for him to take. On the flip side, for Aaron Glenn, as much as I want to see him succeed, the Jets they're a dumpster fire. I don't understand why they would hire a defensive coordinator, a defensive-minded coach for one. They have a good defense, but they've always been lacking on the offensive side of the ball. Aaron Rodgers definitely has to go because all he gonna do is undermine the new coach. That is not going to work with Aaron Glenn.
I agree with that.
He has to go, point blank, period. I think maybe doing that, you're going to be able to salvage your wide receiver core. I think that what's the young receiver's name? Because they were talking to him about possibly wanting to be traded.
You talking for the Jets or
the Jets? For the Jets? Yeah.
You talking about Garrett?
Garrett.
Wilson.
Yeah. You kind of lost him with Rodgers at this point. So I think that's gonna spur him to.
He actually had a good year
to stay. Yeah, but he still wasn't happy though. It just they just weren't vibing. I think Adams might stay. I mean, if not, you trade him away.
Adams is he on the last year of his deal?
Yeah, I think that was. I think that was on the 1 year.
He was it? I thought he restructured, but I thought he had another year left on it or something. But anyway, I just think that they should have gone with the offensive-minded coach, in my opinion. I feel like that's where they need to do their most improvement. They have a lot of talent on their defense already. So you bring in a defensive coordinator. I mean, Aaron Glenn can definitely succeed with that defense, but I think he's going to struggle with the offensive side of it because he's a defensive-minded coach, and they're going to probably draft a quarterback. You need an offensive-minded coach to go with that quarterback, not just an O coordinator. So that's my opinion on it. I just think.
I mean,
honestly,
what if he get a good old coordinator?
I don't know. For the Jets, I feel like the head coach has to be the offensive guy. I don't know why with them. I just do. This is almost like a rinse and repeat with Saleh, but they're probably going to get rid of the experienced offensive quarterback that they have. If I was Aaron Glenn, honestly, I know they say it's hard to get whatever. I don't know if he interviewed with the Jags, but I wouldn't have took the Jets job. I think it's a bad decision. So Ben Johnson, I think, will be successful. As much as I want to see Aaron Glenn be successful, I don't see it with the Jets. I just don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one, Herman. I think Ben Johnson ended up being the greater one of these two. For one, you also stated that there's familiarity with the division. he's seen the other teams in his division multiple times, so he'll be able to defend it. Offensive line is probably the key thing you need to do with Williams, and not only that, man, somebody's got to come in there and coach that young man up as far as making smart decisions with the ball. Once you can do that, you get an offensive coach, a quarterback coach in there that can coach him up solid. I think they'll be fine. He'll be okay. As far as the Jets concerned, it's too many question marks for them. Offensive, the quarterback, their line is suspect also. I think the only thing they have going on is their defense. So yeah, I think Aaron Glenn will struggle. I don't know who he's thinking about getting there as an offensive coordinator, but they're gonna have to find a quarterback. So we see what comes out of that one. Brian, what you think about it?
Yeah, you guys are kind of like in my head with this one. I agree a lot about the Jets. I mean, like Aaron, he had to take a job. I don't know. I thought the Jaguars job might have been a better choice for him, but the Jets were determined not to let him out of that door, even though they let him out the door. But he ended up being the man that they wanted. So he is going to make that defense better. The defense did kind of fall off after they fired Saleh. He is going to have to lead with the defense. And like Sean mentioned, he's going to have to get a young and upcoming offensive coordinator, maybe somebody off of the Lions staff, that was similar to Ben Johnson, hopefully, maybe another up-and-comer to try to do something. They're going to have to draft a quarterback. There's no question about that. They're going to have to draft one this year. The offensive line is terrible. It is terrible. They have a decent running backs. They got a nice little stable of running backs. They just need to get some offensive line, take a little pressure off their new rookie quarterback, and play with defense, and they have a chance. As for the Chicago, I feel I don't know how well Ben Johnson is going to do there. I've never been a Caleb Williams fan. I still don't think that football is his first love. And when you're a quarterback, I think that's thing. I just don't. I think it's a hobby. I think it's what he's good at, but I don't think it's something that he loves. He definitely just doesn't show it to me.
Wow.
So I think that they're going to force him to try to make this quarterback, who is not going to be the better quarterback that they're thinking of, into a superstar. So he has an uphill battle against him. So neither one are going to have a lot of success, especially next year. But I think that Aaron Glenn may have a little more success.
And
Next year?
Mm-hmm.
Or overall?
Yeah.
Great, Marcus. What you think?
So as far as Ben Johnson, the Bears, I see this going one of two ways: extremes, no in between. It's going to be very successful, very, very successful, or it's going to be a complete dumpster fire. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be any in between. If I was him, I think it's a good job to take. He got a number one overall quarterback there. He's going to have to tame Caleb. He's going to get him to calm down, throw that ball quicker, stop all that running around. This is not college. This is not USC. This is the NFL. Yeah. After this last game we just had, it's kind of crazy to say it, but need to get him to be more like Jared Goff. Stand in that pocket a little bit, not do so much. He don't need to really do all that. As far as the Jets and what's the guy's name? Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn.
Well, like we've already said, the first thing, if I was him, the first thing out of my mouth is, y'all want me to have his job? Rodgers got to go. There's no way he stays. No way he has to go. He's poisoned. He will have you out of if he gets to stay, he'll have you out of there in less than a year. one and done. I don't know what the draft pick is, but I think they got a pretty high one. I had to draft a QB.
Who's that? The Jets?
Yeah.
They got number 7.
Number 7? Mm.
And they got only $20 million in cap space.
So I definitely think he took the more difficult route. And they're probably really hoping he'll do what Dan Campbell did, turn it around real quick. I mean, that's what Dan Campbell did. He turned a dumpster fire into to a winning.
He had a decent quarterback.
Yeah, well,
and they gave him time too.
And then he had an offensive line in place.
like I say, I mean, he comes high, he comes highly touted. If he might be able to pull it off, we'll see. But I definitely think the Bears was with Ben Johnson. I think he's in a better situation, but I would like to see both of them succeed.
All right. The next hot topic we have is rank your quarterbacks currently in the playoffs worst to best. We got Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen. Marcus, I'll let you start this off first.
Bullshit.
So first of all, so let me say this. This is strictly how they're playing at this very moment.
In the playoffs right now.
At this very moment.
Exactly.
I mean, because we all know Patrick Mahomes is number one, period. Hands down. Nothing to debate. This is exactly how they're playing at this.
That's not what it says though. It doesn't say how they're playing. It says rank them.
It says rank them.
Well, I'm gonna rank them how they play.
Playoffs. We already in the playoffs. We already know how you're gonna rank them, Marcus. So just go ahead. We already know what number one is.
So number 4, Jalen Hurts. But he's number 4 because he hasn't had to do a whole lot. And I'm not saying he sucks. He just hasn't had to do a whole lot. Saquon's there. You know, he had like 160 in the game on Sunday. Maybe I think 100 in the other game. He hasn't had to do a whole lot. So that's just because of what he's doing right now. Number 3, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has not been okay. He wins, but he hasn't had to do a whole lot either. He definitely has not been as good as the other two I'm about to name. So that's why he's number 3. This is only in the playoffs in this season, right now, at this very moment, not overall. Number 2, Josh Allen. He's basically the whole team. He does everything himself, pretty much, except this last playoff game. He had some help running. I think Dalvin Cook is the guy's name. He had a little bit of help, but mainly it's pretty much him. And number 1, we all know, greatest rookie season of all time, Jaden Daniels.
Herman.
No, I'm not going next. I'm not going after that BS.
I don't know how the BS.
Brian.
So can we do 2 lists or 1 list? I'm asking that question.
One
You
list.
can do whatever you want, Sean.
You can do whatever you want, Sean. Yeah.
My list is very easy because it's basically how we have it on the rundown. I got Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen.
I was going to say the same thing,
you go ahead.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, mine is just flipped. I have Mahomes as the best, and the only reason I have Jaden Daniels lower is because of the experience factor. That's really the only thing.
Agree.
I'm going by the whole season. For this season, actually, until you had better numbers, Jaden Daniels had better stats than daggone Patrick Mahomes.
He ain't got better stats where it counts.
But yeah,
for this season, I'm talking about.
He don't have better stats where it counts.
That's
this
Super Bowls right now,
huh?
I said for this season. That's all I said.
He does not have the better stats that count. The wins.
Like what?
The wins.
Come on, man. We won 2 playoff games. How many they won? Kansas City won 2 playoff games too.
Huh?
They won the same amount of playoff games.
He's 15-1. Well, he hasn't because he hasn't had to play as many. Y'all had to play 2. He's only played 1.
So we just throwing out experience in the playoffs now. That's what we're doing.
Right.
I said I had the same list.
Why I gotta be a hater though, Marcus? I'm being legit. Like we can't just throw out experience.
Wait a minute. So hold on. If this list is just for who's the best quarterback, then that's a week that we all know how it ranks. Then Jaden is number 4. Jaden is number 4.
It's Mahomes, and then the dude from Buffalo, then Jaden, then Hurts, because I don't like Hurts. I think
Marcus is right. Hurts hasn't had to do much.
Hurts
hasn't had to do much with this year, and Jaden has outplayed Hurts bar none.
I have it the same way.
That's how I have it.
I got Mahomes, Josh, Jaden, and Hurts.
I have no qualms with that. I'll put Jaden at the bottom of this list anytime, all day, every day. I mean,
Okay,
Jalen. I'm sorry,
that's the
not
real
Jalen.
list.
Jalen, not Jaden.
Yeah, Jalen. I actually hate on him more than I actually like Jaden Daniels.
Now stop. You messing with his mom now. Stop it. Don't do that.
I like Jaden Daniels in all honesty. I wish he wasn't playing for y'all, but y'all got the best quarterback out of the draft last year. Point blank, period. He is way better than Caleb Williams, in my opinion. I think he's going to have a better career. No, I think he's going to have a better career than
Caleb.
I just want to see what Caleb does with Ben Johnson there. It might.
I think that Jaden Daniels is something about this kid. He's ahead of his time. It just kills me to say it, but
I think the coaching makes that difference because I mean him and how he plays.
But you know what, Sean? I don't believe in Kingsbury. I think it's Jaden.
For real, he's making plays that aren't.
I think it's Jaden.
Well, yeah. I mean, but he plays mature, but he still got to make the throws. And
but he's making throws on plays that are broken. He's making the right play on broken plays.
Well,
he's making more plays non-broken than he is broken.
And y'all, you know what? Y'all think about this. Kingsbury came from college. He had the same style with your boy Baker Fit, Mahomes, and he coached Jalen in college, so he's used to it. He's used to doing this. All he's doing is turning whatever he does great. All he's doing is flipping it around and having to apply it to the field.
Nah, but he has that history of people catching up to his
I think he's adjusting to what the quarterback he had. You forgot he had Kyler Murray too.
Yeah, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, Kyler. Yes,
well, he's adjusting his offense to what quarterback he got because he didn't do this. He's not doing the same things with Kyler Murray.
Well, that's because Kyler do the same things. Jaden is playing.
You know that reason. Kyler Murray is worried about playing games. That's why.
Right. I personally think it's more Jaden than it is Kingsbury.
I think it's a combination of both.
I think it's a combination of both.
I think it's a combination of both.
But I think
Kingsbury
Johnson.
He needs to remain OC. He don't need to be head coach.
He definitely shouldn't be head coach anywhere. But he's somebody. He probably going to the Jags. Watch.
All right, I'm curious to know that y'all get this wrong. Our last hot topics we're gonna talk about. Is it Chiefs 3-peat? Or does that make Mahomes the best quarterback over Brady? If they were the 3-peat, does that make him the best? Herman?
No.
What you think?
No. Mahomes is great, but it's a feat to do it 3 times in a row. We already know because no team has ever done it. But Brady still has 7. He has 7. And Brady went to another team and got 1. So I'm gonna need Mahomes to get his 6 and then go to another team and get 2 before I say he's the greatest. Like if he ties Brady, I guess you got to put him there. But the fact that Brady went to a whole nother team and did it, I think that just puts it a little bit above. So no, if he gets 3 in a row, no, it doesn't make him the best QB over Brady. It means that they had a really good team 3 years in a row. I mean, they couldn't have done it without Mahomes, but nah, that doesn't make him greater than Brady, not just 3.
Brian?
Absolutely, it makes him the best quarterback in the NFL. No, I'm just playing. No, Herman's right. It does give him a upper thing on Brady if they should become tied. And I think the tiebreaker will go to Mahomes because he did something that Brady could not do. But really, Mahomes is Joe Montana at this point. You got to get past Joe. Everybody forgets about Joe, man, but you got to get past Joe.
I like that.
And then we can worry about you going towards Brady. So no, he's not going to be able to do it when he gets this 3-peat. But it's going to be a nice feat if he does it.
Yeah, I'm agree with you guys. You so far know, and you got to think about it. Brady has never lost. Well, you see, he lost 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah, he lost 2.
He lost 2 Super Bowls.
That's right.
To the Giants.
Both to the Giants.
He lost the Giants twice.
He lost 3.
He lost the Giants and Eagles. Yep.
You got to give me some more armor to step up to that. No, I don't think so at all. No. Sean?
No, not 3 in a row. If he ties Brady and Andy Reid retires and wins with another coach, that's the only time I can give it to him. That's it.
Right.
But no, 3 in a row don't do it for me. Mm-mm.
Marcus?
So I don't know. It's a hard one for me because both of them have done something no other quarterback
Hard one for
has ever done. I mean, Brady has 7. If Mahomes gets a 3-peat, nobody's ever done that. But I still gotta. I'm gonna have to say no, and he's still behind. For I'm concerned, he's still behind Montana. Until he gets 4 or 5 rings. I mean, he's on
Terry Bradshaw.
he's on the
Troy Aikman for that.
Right.
he's on the Mount Rushmore. He's on the Mount Rushmore. Right now it's Brady, Montana, him. But in order to get past Brady, he has to get. I'm not gonna. Well, he has to get at least 6.
No,
I'm not gonna say 7. And this whole he got to leave it on the team and go. Come on, bro. Ain't nobody doing all that.
Then he ain't gonna be the greatest.
I think if he's not gonna leave, but if another coach come in and he wins,
Hold up, Herman. Hold up now. Taking this to basketball, you think Jordan's the greatest, and he never left a team. So why
He did leave a team.
Yeah, but he didn't win a championship with another team.
No, he didn't.
But Jordan's the greatest with one team. Now, if LeBron matches Jordan, is he the greatest because he did it with multiple teams? Or is Jordan still the greatest?
Basketball is a more individual sport.
No, sir. No, sir. This is not that great. No, sir. It's a simple
Okay,
question.
but we're talking football, right? So we're comparing two players.
Right.
If Brady has 7,
Uh-huh.
and if I'm not mistaken, no
Talking
other
about
player.
Brady has 7, Mahomes does a 3-peat and still gets 7.
Oh yeah,
I still say Brady is the
Because he won with another team.
greater because he won with another team.
Stop it.
Well, then in that case, Peyton Manning will always be greater than Patrick Mahomes
Why?
because he won with 2 teams.
Yeah, but he only won one each.
Yeah, but he only won 2.
Yeah, he only won 2.
One with each team.
And he got destroyed in one.
Yeah.
No.
And if Brady,
And he couldn't throw. And then the last one, he couldn't even throw the ball.
right?
Yeah.
That was a defensive win. And they played Cam Newton there, and they couldn't throw the ball. They hurt Cam Newton.
When Mahomes gets to 7, we'll have this discussion again. Okay?
Right.
How about that?
I mean, but see the whole thing. I don't think Andy Reid is going to be there for him
I
to
don't
be
think he
making
is either.
7.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I don't think
How old
so
is Andy
either.
Reid? Like early mid to late 60s or something.
He might be closer to 70.
That's a good point, Sean. He might get one more and say bye-bye. You're right.
He might get one more, and if Mahomes, he don't have to leave. He don't have to leave the team. If they get another coach and he gets 7, you can count it. You can book it. He's the greatest.
He's 66. He's 66.
Yeah.
But for Mahomes to tie him, he has to get the 3-peat to be considered the greatest, in my opinion.
Okay.
Which I think that's. I don't know. That seems pretty impossible. First, I don't think besides Manning and maybe at certain seasons Big Ben, those are only 2 quarterbacks he had to really worry about. Brady, but shoot, Mahomes got to worry about Allen, Lamar.
Oh no, come on, man! You
Burrow.
can only be who you're playing. So, and that's your favorite line. You can only be who you're playing. That was your favorite line this year. Don't do that.
I mean, eventually
But
Buffalo.
it was him and Manning every year. Come
Right,
on, man.
it
Don't do
was.
that. And Manning was a beast every year.
Yeah,
Don't do
Everybody
that.
thought Manning was the better quarterback back
they
then.
did. They
Yeah.
did.
I'm just saying, eventually, the Bills and the Ravens,
And they had the Ravens. I forgot about them.
They're going to overcome this hurdle. So I don't see him getting 7.
And Pittsburgh were good, and you still have Roethlisberger there too. So they just in between all that.
He did mention Roethlisberger.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so that ends our hot topics. Good conversation, y'all. Let's we'll get into these playoff games.
Behind like a mug.
No, we're not.
Wait a minute, no, you didn't. You didn't solo that. This game?
Which
Yeah,
game was
the
the first
Texans.
No.
Yeah.
Somebody else. Brian picked the
Brian
Texans too.
Brian picked the Texans too.
Yeah, I
You
picked
didn't
the
solo
Texans.
that.
Oh, you
You take
did?
your hat off. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
picked the Texans.
Well, man, Brian, you all right with me.
Yeah.
I thought I was
The
on
only one that's going to be wearing hats today is Marcus.
That's right. Only one.
All right, let's get into these playoffs games, man. It's so
Matter of fact,
sad
I
that we
probably
get into
should
the
wear the
end of the
dunk hat for
season.
that one. Good Lord.
First game we had was the Tennessee Titans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
I'm sorry,
Texans.
the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans
What?
taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. That game, the Kansas City won it 23-14. Stats, you had C.J. Stroud, 19 for 28, 245 yards, 0 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, 18 carries, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. Leading receiver, you had Nico Collins, 5 receptions, 81 yards, 0 touchdowns. For Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, 16 for 25, 177 yards, 1 touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 8 carries for 44 yards, 1 touchdown. Excuse me. Leading receiver, Travis Kelce, 7 receptions, 117 yards, and 1 touchdown. Marcus, who'd you have in this game?
Of course, I picked the Chiefs. I should have picked the Chiefs and the refs. It should be a combination when you pick the Chiefs. So yeah, I mean, they did what they did. I didn't think the Houston Texans were going, even after that impressive performance they had the week before. I didn't think the Texans were going to be able to walk in there and overcome the Chiefs. It's playoff time, and the Chiefs know how to get ready for playoff time, and they do what they do. And of course, Kelce came alive. I think he probably had his best game of the season. Yeah, so I picked the Chiefs, and I was right. Yeah, he did say that. He did say that, Mort.
Shut it.
Brian.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I picked the Texans. I deserve this. This was really a bad week for predictions for your boy. I will tell you that much. But I mean, Texans did try to come out. They did try to play hard. It was difficult. A couple of questionable calls, like we said, with the refs in this one. But I mean, you kind of got to give it to the Texans. I mean, you got to give it to the Chiefs, man. When it's playoff time, like Marcus said, they light it up and they do what they got to do. So I picked this one wrong. The Chiefs was the Victoria one, and I deserve this loss.
Yeah, Brian, I'm right along with you, man. The Chiefs found a way to win despite the Texans moving the ball more than twice as much yards as they did. That was crazy. The questionable unnecessary reference call on Patrick Mahomes that led to the Kelce touchdown. They went up 8 points. That was it. Kansas City's going to their 7th straight AFC Championship game. 7 straight. Yeah, I picked the Texans. I don't know what I was thinking on this one. Sean, who'd you have in this one?
KC. It was just that simple. Even though I wasn't rooting for him, but the refs again every year. But you got to get KC at a neutral site. Maybe the refs straighten out. But that's all I have.
Herman?
Yeah, I had the Chiefs in this one. Even though the Texans outgained the Chiefs 336 total yards to 212. The first team that I think to ever outgain their opponent in yards and lose.
And no turnovers, too.
Yeah, and no turnovers and lose.
Turnover.
I mean,
and time possession.
Yeah, you're right. Time of possession, too. It was 33 minutes to 26 minutes. I mean, like, how? How do you even do that? That's just I don't know what to say about the Texans. I feel for them, but yeah, I picked the Chiefs. I knew that. I just they're the Chiefs until they get knocked off. They're the champs. Them and the refs.
Everybody went.
It just feels like this is when the Bulls was beating everybody in the 90s. It's like they were great teams. They were beaten, but the Bulls hadn't been there. You probably have a couple of more championships, but it just ain't happening for you because you were good at the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like now is the perfect time just to be sorry.
Like the Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
Now is the perfect time just to be sorry. And then once Mahomes is gone, you can be good again.
All right, next game we have is the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Buffalo Bills.
Actually, you
This
need to
game-
do the Commanders game first. That's out of order
Oh, okay. I'm
because
sorry.
the Commanders game was Saturday.
Not a problem. We're gonna jump over to the
Yeah,
Commanders.
just get this crap out the
We
way
had
right now.
We had the Washington Commanders, number 6 seed, taking on the number 1 seed. They won it 45-31. Stats in this particular game had Jaden Daniels.
Y'all waste a lot of money on ugly stuff.
Don't they though?
Actually, your boy gave me this. Bart gave me this right here, so I'm not even had to pay for it.
You stole it. I didn't give you that. 22 for 31, 299 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brian Robinson, 15 carries for 77 yards, 2
Marcus,
touchdowns.
hold yours up a little higher so we don't have to see your face either.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect right there. Yeah. No, Sean, put it up. Put it back up.
De'Ami Brown, 6 catches for 98 yards. For the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff,
Won't hate.
23 for 40, 313 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. You had Gibbs, 14 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. Amon St. Brown, 8 catches for 137 yards, 0 touchdowns. This one, I'll go first on this one. I didn't think that you guys were going to pull it off. I was drinking the blue Kool-Aid, of course, but the Commanders stunned them. They advanced to the NFC Championship. Jaden Daniels makes all the players around him better. There's no question about that. This is their first playoff win in since 91?
No, you mean the first 2 playoff wins because they go to the championship since 1991. It's 33 years.
So they snapped the second longest drought basically for playoff team. The Lions 5 turnovers. You can't project the ball and do things by doing that. But I picked the Lions. I picked this was wrong. Brian, who did you have?
Yeah, like me and the rest of the world and the predictor, we just knew this was a done deal. Almost lost $100 on this game, but luckily he changed his mind.
I would have took that.
You would have got it too. You would have got it because I was ready to bet the house on this one, man. There was no way in the world that this outcome was going to happen. I didn't even think it was going to be close. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was going to be a slaughter. For the Lions to implode so poorly, offensively and defensively. Both of these coordinators just got jobs, and they did like the worst performance that they could. And I can't really give it on Ben Johnson because it was more his quarterback and them not running the ball like they should have, like they had been being successful. And all of a sudden they just forgot about Gibbs. So
How's that not on the OC?
It is on the OC.
I thought you said it wasn't on the OC.
No,
Okay.
it is on the OC. But he didn't throw the picks that Goff kept throwing, and that pick 6 was just awful. So, hey, man, congrats. Hey, it's nothing much I can say. Y'all deserve it. Y'all won it. There's no questions. There was no refs, no cheating, no nothing. Y'all went out there and you did your thing. So, congratulations.
For the record, they had 201 rushing yards, so they had plenty of rushing.
They were running. Yeah, they was effective with the run.
They stopped, though. If they weren't throwing the ball, they wouldn't have got that pick 6.
Well, they got behind.
They got behind by 14.
Behind.
You forgot about that.
Herman,
I ain't even watched the game. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Herman, who'd you have, Herman?
Yeah, obviously, since I'm wearing this hat, I picked the wrong team. I picked the Lions, and everybody. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. like I said, I'll give Washington their credit. You know, congratulations on the Lions losing that game. You know, that's it. You can't win a playoff game turning the ball over 5 times?
5 times, yeah.
Can't do it.
And Maury, that doesn't make a difference. They were the
making
number 1
excuses.
seed. It doesn't matter.
Excuses.
Yeah, I don't even want to.
Exactly.
I didn't even want to hear that crap when they said it. I don't care that their starters were.
They
were
been
matter.
depleted all
They
year.
had 13 defensive players on injury reserve.
Don't matter. They were the number 1
They
team.
had the best record coming out of the NFC.
Right, and they had that all year long. They did. So there was no excuse. I feel like I think the window is closed for them. They just lost both their coordinators. I don't know how you're going to make up for that one, because one of the things that and he proved me right, Dan Campbell, he's not that great of a coach. He's a good motivator. He can lead men, but he's not that good of a coach. There were times when
players.
Yeah, he got good players too, but there were times when they got cute when they shouldn't have, and I put that on the OC.
That was Johnson's fault.
Yeah, I definitely put that on him. But as a head coach, you got to veto some of that stuff.
But do you think he knew that play was going to be called?
I'm sure he has a headset on. He's in the headset.
He absolutely knows the plays.
Yeah, he knows the plays. He's on the headset. You got to veto some of that cute stuff, man. And like Brian said, I know they got behind, but they definitely got away from running the football. When Goff started turning the ball over, take that ball out of his hands. Go back to your play action. They was chunking off runs. Go to your play action. You'll draw those safeties in. You'll draw those linebackers in. Then you can make easier throws for them. But I picked the Detroit, and I got it wrong. Congratulations to the Commanders. I mean, it's been a long drought. I know how that feels. Last time y'all won a Super Bowl.
Y'all got the longest drought now.
Last time y'all won a Super Bowl was 1991, right?
Yeah, but y'all got the longest drought for championship games now.
Yeah, but that's not the objective. The objective is Super Bowl.
Exactly. You know, I love how this stat all of a sudden
Winning a
becomes
Super Bowl.
something. You ain't never talk about that until
That's
recently.
that only changed until the
championship
Cowboys until it affected the Cowboys.
Hey, you gotta be there to get there.
Jay Daniels got more playoff wins than that.
Hey, look. Actually, he doesn't. Hey, look. If y'all are happy going to the NFC Championship, more power to you. If you like consolation prizes, hey, congratulations. It's about winning Super Bowl.
Hey, Herman, they winning and we still in their head. We still in their head.
Bro, like the clock hit zero.
Focus on the success of his own team. He got to tell us what the Cowboys ain't doing.
Right.
I love
the clock hit zero and my phone starts blowing up. And I'm like, dude, celebrate your win.
He focused on somebody else's quarterback when his quarterback is the best thing going since sliced bread. But he focused on somebody else's quarterback. I love it. Always in your head.
Because your Bama's on the couch. That's all I want to say.
Exactly.
Sean, who did you have in the game, Sean?
I had the Commanders. Man, come on, man. Stop playing.
He know more Cowboy players than his old team.
I know the whole NFL more than I know everything. So, anyway, Jaden Daniels has had the best rookie season ever. Tell me somebody's had a better rookie season than this. Please. I'm not even going to say it anymore.
You came on the show just to do that. That's it. That's it.
CJ Stroud had
I can't pick on y'all, but y'all can't. What are y'all going to say?
I'm saying, but you could. I mean, I would be gloating more about my own squad and what we've done.
Nah, because I want to gloat next week.
Man, if that's all you want to say, Sean, that's all you gotta say, brother.
I want to gloat next week. That's when I want to gloat.
Well, you better get your gloating in while you can.
Okay, we gonna see.
Okay,
that's what you said last week.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Yeah.
But I didn't say it with the number one defense. I didn't say it with the number one defense.
It don't matter. They got 5 touchdowns on them. Okay, they can get it again.
So I guess you'd be happy if y'all just go to the Super Bowl too, huh?
No, not at all. Because if we beat them, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Oh, I'm predicting that. Let's do it.
Marcus, who do you have in this game? And the win the
I don't know why this thing keeps muting stuff like that.
No, that's crazy.
It's so weird.
He can't hold up the flag and unmute himself.
I'm sorry about that, my crap. So I actually did watch this whole game, start to finish. I had to. I couldn't help myself. My blood pressure was running the whole time. But I did predict my Commanders to win, and I was right. But I was shocked at the way we won. I expected a very close game. I expected whoever had the ball last was going to win. I didn't expect 5 turnovers from the Lions. That was definitely a total implosion. If I had my doubts before, I don't have them anymore. I still would like a better defense. We only rate 18th in defense, so next season I would like an above average defense. But we're I think we're above schedule and very proud of my team, and I picked them, and I was right.
Man, have some more confidence, man.
Say what?
Have some more confidence. We're gonna win.
Well, I got it now. Okay. That's all I need to see.
All right, moving on to the next game, we have the LA Rams taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles won it 28-22. Stats in this particular game.
He lone wolfed this.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
He was almost right.
You look better than that hat. Stats in this one, we had the Rams, Matthew Stafford, 26 for 44, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kyron Williams, 19 carries, 106 yards, 0 touchdown. Puka Nacua, 6 catches, 97 yards, 0 touchdowns. Eagles, you had Jalen Hurts, 15 for 20, 120 yards, 0 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, 26 carries, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dallas Goedert, 4 catches, 56 yards, 0 touchdowns. This one, I chose the Rams. I'm sorry. I got the Eagles. I'm sorry. I got it right. The Eagles, they pretty much outlast the Rams in the snow. Can you believe that? They Eagles just stuck with their running game, and basically they control it. The thing that got me was Puka Nacua was dropping passes.
Yeah.
I do not remember seeing Puka all season drop that many passes.
Was he playing in the middle of a snow blizzard all season?
Puka was, he was missing easy stuff. I'm like,
It was just snow on the
dang.
ground.
But I tell you what, I will say this about the Rams. The Rams started the season off 1-4, and they won a division. They got a monster young defensive players that are coming back next year. Watch out for the Rams next year. I'm telling you that now. Watch out for them.
I don't know. Didn't Stafford talking retirement possibly?
Yeah.
But I like what they put together at the end of the season is what I paid more attention to. But I took the Eagles and they won it, and they're moving on. I'm sorry. Herman, who'd you have?
Yeah, I had the Eagles in this one too. Good game. Saquon doing what he does. Got to be able to stop that run. But Jalen did take a lot of sacks. He took a lot of sacks, and he's banged up now. So they're probably gonna lean a little bit more on Saquon if you can even do that. But you still can't sleep on that passing game. So this gonna be a good game. 2 teams that know each other. We'll talk about that, I guess, next. But yeah, I picked the Eagles. I got this one right.
Sean, who'd you have on it?
I had the Rams. I really thought because, and then also the Eagles corner went out. That was one other thing. In the middle of the game, man, I thought the Rams were going to pull it off. But I picked them at the beginning, but I thought the Rams were going to pull it off. It's going to make it interesting next week because they, without their 2 great corners, okay. Against Jaden, okay. I mean, the running back is going to get his, of course, until our run defense stops him. But I picked the Rams, but that was a loss. Take the L.
Brian, who'd you have, Brian?
Yeah, I did have the Eagles reluctantly. I did want to pick the Rams in this game. I felt like the Rams definitely had a chance, and at the end, they actually did. The Eagles started to implode near the end. They were letting the Rams score real quick, got down the field, and almost had another one to tie the game up at least and get them in overtime. But it wasn't meant to be. The Eagles defense stepped up, did what they had to do, and Herman's right, man. Saquon ran that ball. They held on to him because Jalen, I think, would you say Marco had like 135 yards passing or something like that? A real low number. So
128.
Jalen, so Jalen didn't really do a ton in that game. He's definitely going to have to do more to beat the Commanders coming up. But I did pick the Eagles in this one, and I got it right. The only game I got right this week for the rankings. Yeah.
Right, Marcus, who did you have?
No,
You big dummy. You big dummy. You big cold-blooded dummy. You big dummy. See what you did? Oh, no, you big dummy.
Yeah, I picked the Rams. I was real high on the Rams. Like I said, starting 1-4, they seemed to put together. I thought they were hot coming into the playoffs. I just felt like they had more fire in them than Philly did. Definitely trust their coaching staff way more than I trust the Eagles coaching staff. The fact that you're having Jalen running the ball after you see he's already hurt makes no sense. When you got Saquon back there, it doesn't make sense to me at all. But they couldn't stop the run. I mean, with Barkley had 205, and altogether he had 285 rushing yards. In the snow too. There was no way the Rams were going to win that game.
But what's crazy is they almost lost.
Yeah, but the fact the Rams were even close. But the fact the Rams were even that close, but 285 yards rushing. I mean, that's ridiculous. Some people don't even have 285 yards total yards the whole game. But I was thinking the Rams were going to pull one out, and they just didn't. So I was wrong.
All right, we got the last game. The Baltimore Ravens taking on the Buffalo Bills.
Hey, did you spin that thing?
I did. And you ain't see me. You weren't paying attention.
Okay.
You was looking down.
Bills won at 27-25. This was a heartbreaker for the Ravens. Mark Andrews dropped a pass that could have tied the game in a 2-point conversion. This game was all cracked up what we thought it would be. It was going to come down to the last possession. Lamar Jackson, 18 for 25, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Derrick Henry, 16 carries, 84 yards, 1 touchdown. Isaiah Likely, 4 catches, 73 yards, 1 touchdown. For the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, 16 for 22, 127 yards, not really that impressive. James Cook, 17 carries, 67 yards, 0 touchdowns. And you'd have had Khalil Shakur, 6 catches, 67 yards, 0 touchdowns. Sean, who did you have in this game, Sean?
I had Baltimore. I was thinking they drove straight down the field the first drive. Derrick Henry, Jackson, they drove straight down the field. After that, they turned the ball over. You can't turn the ball over. Drop passes. which I feel bad for him, but he still dropped it. Baltimore's windows is eventually going to close. It's eventually going to close.
It's getting tight. It's getting tight.
Derrick Henry is 30. He's 30 years old. He's in great shape, but he's still a running back. And he takes a lot of hits and pounding. But I thought it was Baltimore's year. I thought we would possibly see Baltimore in the Super Bowl, but it didn't work out.
Herman, who'd you have?
Yeah, I had Baltimore in this one too. And I said it when I picked them. I was like, how are they going to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar, that run game? But They did go away from it some, but they had 3 turnovers. Everybody's talking about Mark Andrews dropping that 2-point conversion. He had a critical fumble earlier in the game too.
Exactly.
That one hurt him. Probably may have hurt him more. I mean, of course, they're tied, but they may not have been in that predicament. Right. They may not have been in that predicament had he not fumbled that ball. So it was turnovers, man. It was just the turnovers, I think, that really got them. They probably could have ran the ball some more. And yeah, you're right. Their window is closing, but they're going to be right back there next year. I mean, their division, they pretty much run the division. Sorry, Mark. So
I don't know.
I did pick Baltimore, and I got
Cincinnati's still there.
Yeah, but until Cincinnati learns how to start off fast, they're going to be always fighting uphill, you know.
Marcus, who'd you have, Marcus?
Yeah, I also picked Baltimore. I also thought this was their year. But here's one stat. Well, I actually don't have the exact stat, but they say when Derrick Henry has at least 24 carries, they win the game. You know how many he had?
23.
16. Should have gave it to him 8 more times.
Yeah,
you could have won the game. They seem to. I don't know. I think Todd Monken is a great OC. He's definitely improved Lamar Jackson, but it seems like whenever they get these crucial playoff games, they just stop doing what they do best. Do what got you know what I'm saying? Do what got you there. Leave the dance for who you came to the dance with. And I just don't understand it. Derrick Henry was a whole turnaround for y'all this season. Just give him the ball. Let him do what he does. And I'm disappointed they didn't win, but I picked him and I was wrong.
Brian?
Yeah, I picked Baltimore too. And like Herman, he basically brought it up, but it was the turnovers that really put Baltimore behind the 8 ball. I mean, they were 21-10 at the half. And, they should have scored at least 2 more touchdowns if they hadn't turned the ball over on those drives. They were running the ball. The first, like Sean said, the first drive, they went right down the field, scored, let's go. So after that, it was an uphill battle. And more the reason why they had to abandon the run was because of the hole they dug themselves. So they couldn't run it as much. I still think they kept it an implement of the game, but after that, the time clock starts becoming your enemy as well. So you got to give it to Buffalo. I mean, but Buffalo took advantage of the turnovers that was given. They put points on the board to make it more difficult for Baltimore to come back. So you got to give it to the Bills, man. They did their thing. Bills Mafia, stand up.
But Baltimore ran it 30 times for 176. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was with you guys on this one too, man. I thought the Ravens were going to come out victorious in this one. The 3 turnovers by the Bills was big. I think another turning point in this game was when Bateman went out. I think it changed the way the Bills played them too. They didn't have to worry about, or they wasn't worried about a deep threat with Bateman anymore. So they played up, closer for the run. Even though Derrick Henry still was punishing them and doing his thing, but I think that they didn't have to worry about a deep threat after that particular point in the game. The drops for Andrews was crucial. Another surprise in that thing too, when they went for the first 2-point conversion, it almost seemed like you don't want to chase the points, but if they did kick the field goal in there, then what they would have just needed 1 point to take the lead. So I don't know, man. You go back and forth with it. You play to win the game. I understand it, but it seemed to me you're chasing too many. You're chasing the point when you miss on a 2-point conversion. When you could get 3, you're chasing points, and I think that's a downfall. But it goes back to 2. If he catches the ball, we may have a whole different discussion about the game. If he catches one of them, you got a tie game. It's a whole different ball game.
Here's the thing about that. Everybody's saying, "Oh, that would have made a difference." You still gave Josh Allen like over a minute to walk down that field. It still gave them a minute. So they could have tied it, but it's not like they would have won that.
Possibly, yeah. But it still changed the way you play. It changed the directory on how you play the whole game at that particular point.
Yeah.
But I took the Ravens on this one, and I got it wrong. Brian, I'm with you, Brian. I only went 1-3 for this week, man. I'm terrible. I was terrible.
Yeah.
I was 2-2.
2-2. 2-2. All right. Here it is. This is going to be to make it to the Super Bowl. We got the first game, the 6th seed Washington Commanders taking on the number 2 seed Eagles. Eagles favored by 6 points. The predictor has the Eagles by 64%. I'm going to let you start it off.
No, hold on, Mark. Hold on, Mark. We don't need to do all that. We already know what's going to happen. I'm picking the Commanders. You bums are picking the Eagles. We don't need to go through all that. We already know what's going to happen. And I don't want y'all to pick them either.
Sean is on the show. So. Sean is on the show.
I'm still on with
you. Bro, you know who I'm picking. And I'm picking the score. It's 30-27. Washington.
I don't like that score. It's too close.
30 with a comeback.
Divisional game. It's going to be close.
30-27.
Brian Herman. Brian Herman.
What?
Who's going to win the game, Brian and Herman?
The Commanders.
Who's going to win the game?
You were lying. Don't you pick us. Don't you pick us.
Commanders going to win the game.
What?
He being facetious.
Oh, no, wait a
He
minute.
being facetious.
No, if Jalen was 100%, I was going with the Eagles. But with him not being 100%, I think y'all going to win the game.
I don't believe that.
I wish that your plane would crash into Philadelphia Stadium and knock both teams out so neither one of y'all play, but that's not possible. So
that is so crude. That's so crude.
That's pretty bad.
Okay, I wish both teams got like the flu and nobody could play and y'all had to like just forfeit.
Just say they wish they had explosive diarrhea and couldn't play the game. Both teams had explosive diarrhea.
Nobody could play.
You picking the Commanders for real, Brian?
For real.
Okay.
You really picking the Commanders?
I'm just tagging it.
But we already know what the hater going to do.
You are a hater.
Give me the Commanders.
They doing that on purpose, Sean. They doing that on purpose.
The Commanders anyway.
They doing that on purpose, Sean.
Don't come on. Hey, don't cause I'm
trying to jinx us.
Don't do this.
They trying to jinx us.
What are you talking about?
Right now.
When y'all beat the best team in the NFC,
you got to give them
y'all
props.
became the best team.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get that.
Oh man, they doing
it.
This sounds like setup though.
It is a setup. It's a setup.
It's not a setup.
It's a setup.
We can't win.
I know we
can't win.
I know, right? If we picked against y'all, we haters. If we picked for you, then we
this is the third
matchup. Gonna
matchup.
be haters.
Oh my gosh.
What you got,
Who you
Mark?
picking,
Go on
Mark?
and say it, Mark.
I'm torn,
buddy.
man. I'm torn.
Come on, buddy.
I'm torn. My heart says one thing, my head says another.
Long wolf it, Mark.
I'm gonna just say this. You know, it hasn't snowed in Miami.
It's not snowing.
And
I already checked the
it
weather.
snowed
It's not snowing.
down in
It did
Florida.
snow.
It snowed in Florida. It snowed in New
Come on,
Orleans.
Mark. You
It did snow in Florida.
I wouldn't be surprised Commanders win this game. I'm taking Commanders also.
This some bullshit.
I'm taking Commanders.
This some straight bullshit.
I mean, you should be happy. We all picked the Commanders. What?
We all pick the Commanders.
I don't
You
understand.
trying to jinx us. You trying to jinx
We
us.
can start getting tickets to the Super Bowl, Marcus.
They want some BS, Sean. They want some BS.
Yeah, bruh. Why today? I don't know.
I've
Y'all
been
like my
giving the
y'all
Commanders
like my
props
y'all like
all
my
year.
hat. That's what that was about. Y'all like my
Throughout
hat.
all my hate, I've been giving the
Y'all like
Commanders
my hat.
props all year.
Go to the
You
next
like
game.
my hat.
Go to the next
Here's my
game.
hat.
All right,
Commanders got this.
let's get the next game in. You got the number 2 Buffalo Bills taking on the number 1 Kansas City Chiefs. Predictor has the Chiefs by 1 point. The predictor has the Bills at 55.
Yeah.
Well, that's disrespectful to the Chiefs.
That's very disrespectful. You don't even get the 3 points. You don't even get the 3 points.
Didn't even get the
Can I
home
go
3
first?
point, right?
But go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
I got the refs 28, the Bills 24.
John, I second that motion. They're on the road to three-peat, 3 Super Bowls in a row. Give me the Chiefs. Brian?
Buffalo, stand up for one more time. Let's get to the Super Bowl. Give me the Chiefs. Give me the Bills.
So you know what you're picking. You basically
I'm picking Buffalo, Washington. Yeah. Y'all won that Super Bowl, so you'll be happy.
That's an ugly Super Bowl.
Herman?
It was ugly back then too, Herman.
I'm going with the Chiefs. They're the champs. I got to pick the Chiefs. And again, like Sean said, they got the refs on their side too, so that don't never hurt.
You got to be the
And
one.
Marcus.
Well, Holly. I'm also going with the Chiefs. The three-peat is going to be alive. You can't beat them. They're gonna be at the they call it these days the Arrowhead, the Arrowhead Invitational. The refs are gonna be there. So
Are they?
So I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right. So at the end of the show, we talk about some final thoughts. Sean, if you'd like to start us off with your final thoughts going into the championship week, go ahead and give it to us. Final thoughts.
My final thoughts. This has been a very great season. This has been a good season, surprising, and it's refreshing for the DMV area, and I'm proud to be a Commanders fan this year. Yeah, because last year I went to all the games. I had season tickets.
I'm just stick with them
when
when
season tickets
it's
next
not
year.
this good.
Obviously, you're bad luck, so you should go with more games.
I'm gonna get season tickets this year, though. I am.
I have to pay for it too, Sean. I'll put a little something in your books.
Okay, appreciate it. But I enjoy y'all podcasts. I try to watch every weekend, and I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Sean.
We appreciate you watching and supporting us for real.
I'm going to also end it with it's been a long time to see the Commanders fans have this much joy in watching football. You have got to go back to Joe Gibbs days.
Yeah, when I was in high school.
When they were playing well.
We had graduated by then. So
yeah.
Well, we were graduating.
And
I was in the Army.
I can pretty much imagine. Excuse me, I'm giving the final thoughts, fellow.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. As I was saying, I'm really happy for you Commanders fans and what y'all experiencing this year. I can remember when back in the 80s when you guys were going through the playoff run, that championship game, there was not a single person out in the streets. Everybody was glued to the television. You're going to have this same scenario this Sunday. It ain't going to be nobody. It's going to be a ghost town in the streets. Everybody going to glue TV. I hope y'all do win it. That's it. Brian?
This may be the worst season that I've had to experience in football in a long time.
No.
The
15.
fact, no, even 15 wasn't that bad. The fact that these two NFC East rivals, one of these fools is going to the Super Bowl, and I don't want neither one to go. But y'all did this to me. And the only thing that gives me a little bit of happiness is that the Giants fans feel worse than the Cowboy fans because they let Saquon go. he may go to the Super Bowl and actually win one in his first year with the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's a little bit of solace for me. But I hate y'all. I wish you all would die.
Damn.
Yeah, but I'm the hater.
This is the worst season ever.
Herman, any final thoughts for you?
Yeah, like Brian said, it's been a hard season for the Cowboys. But you know what? as hard as it is to see the Commanders actually a good team, it's about time, to tell you the truth. Because honestly, it got old. Y'all were so bad for so long. It got old. I didn't even have fun with it anymore, in all honesty. I still see, like Brian said too, we live rent free in y'all's heads, and I'm good with that. You know, every time y'all win, y'all got to think about Dallas. You know, but just remember this: as bad as Dallas was this year, Dallas still beat you in your home on your home field, if I'm not mistaken. So Dak is
with the backup.
Well,
Here we go.
No. Dak was in the first game?
No.
Oh, he wasn't.
Dak
Oh,
was
we
out.
are back. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Yeah. So
We beat
Here
him.
we go.
as good as y'all are, just
Cooper
remember.
Rush.
Just remember, we still own you. We still own you. Good luck,
Man,
beat
on the
Eagles, 'cause
couch.
I think I'd rather see y'all win it than the Eagles. Good luck this weekend, because I know you're not going to win the Super Bowl anyway.
Yeah, that's because you don't live here anymore, Herman.
Wow.
On the couch, man.
That part
Wow.
too is nice. Yeah.
I can't believe you said that, Herman.
We got a spot for y'all. We got a spot for y'all to watch the Super Bowl right alongside of us.
That's cold, man, right now.
I kind of want y'all to go to the Super Bowl though, so I don't know. But hey, it still doesn't matter. We still beat y'all with a backup quarterback, so we own you.
Marcus, take us out here with the final thought, please.
So my final thought is, and you can say, okay, you live rent free in the heads, but of all my Cowboy fans, see what happens after only 1 year when you get rid of a toxic owner.
Oh,
1 year, 1 season.
I ain't gonna argue that one on you.
1 season. Definitely wasn't expecting this. I thought it was gonna be a good 3 or 4 season journey. So definitely wasn't expecting this. And of course,
All I do is win, no matter what.
And it's upside down again. I love it.
I can't see. Is it?
Yeah, obviously. No.
Sean.
All you do is M because you keep putting the W upside down.
Stop talking to me.
Got him.
Before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. Catch us on our Facebook group, Delay of Game. You can also catch us on Twitter /X Delay of Game 3, on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. We will see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel, and hopefully on our way to the Super Bowl. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.
What a lot of ugly trips.